Now at 9, the identities of 4 members of a Bloomington family who died in a triple murder-suicide Sunday morning have been released. The latest in the investigation coming up.
And branches of the Muncie Public Library opening today for the first time since March. Ahead, how they're keeping visitors safe.
From the heart of Ball State University, live from the Unified Media Newsroom, NewsLink Indiana starts right now.
Good evening, thanks for being with us. I'm Tucker White.
And I'm Libby Kleemeyer.
Our top story tonight, we now know the identities of 4 members of a Bloomington family who died in a triple murder-suicide Sunday morning. The coroner identified a man who Bloomington police say shot and killed 3 members of his family as 61-year-old Jeffrey Mumper. His children, 18-year-old Jacob, 26-year-old Emma, and his wife, 54-year-old Anna Marie, were found dead in their home with apparent gunshot wounds. Investigators believe Mumper killed them before turning the gun on himself. It's unclear what led to the shooting. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health, there are resources you can call 1-800-273-8255 for help.
In political news tonight, Senator Jim Merritt is resigning from the Indiana Legislative. The Republican senator has 2 years left on his term. He says he plans to step down on November 4th. The 61-year-old was first elected in 1990. Merritt was a leading supporter of the state's Lifeline law. The law allows people to report medical emergencies related to drug or alcohol use without the possibility of prosecution. He didn't give a reason for his resignation.
Some branches of the Muncie Public Library reopened today for the first time since March. NewsLink Indiana's Emily Harless visited one of the locations to look at what's being done to keep people safe.
The Kennedy Library is just one of the Muncie Public Library branches that reopened today after a 6-month hiatus. While the branch located on McGalliard may have been closed to the public for a while, the employees continue to provide books to the community through a new service, curbside pickup, something Library Director Akila Nosakir believed was important to the community.
So it gave us a chance to kind of rethink our service, how important it is, to the community. So we tried some preliminary steps, the curbside, which we still do, for those who can't come in.
Nosakir believes that the curbside service helps allow people to cope with quarantine, especially those who can't afford to go out and buy books.
I think it was good, those who could not afford to buy the book, because there's always that group that could go to Amazon or wherever and just order what they wanted. But then there's that other group that didn't have enough money to buy everything they needed or wanted, and the library was always there to provide access to new materials.
And she doesn't think the library's ability to help people stops at a physical interaction. Nosakir also believes the library is helpful when it comes to virtual means, especially since many schools are somewhat online.
Now that learning is online, students in all of these places can have access to online learning materials, not only books, but databases, how-to videos. They need a tutor. The library had to be around to provide that kind of service, and we love doing that.
After being closed for so long to determine the best ways to open again, the library is taking several precautions, like glass barriers, to keep both the public and the employees safe.
Well, as you can see, we wear a mask, and we require mask for everyone that comes in. For the staff, we check our temperatures when we come in before we leave home or at the back door when we come to the library.
In Muncie, Emily Harless, NewsLink, Indiana.
The Kennedy Library is open from 1 to 5 p.m. daily. For more information on which branches are open and the precautions being taken, you can visit ballstatedaily.com.
Many new guidelines to prevent the spread of COVID-19 have been put out in place throughout campus, including residence halls. Hand sanitizing stations have been placed in hallways, and sanitizing wipes are at the front desk, and residents must key in their halls with their IDs. Common areas like computer labs now have a limit on the amount of people in the room and will be regularly cleaned. Masks are required to be worn in every residence hall.
They've been doing a great job of keeping us all safe by posting up different kinds of posters, different unavailable signs.
Housing and Residence Life has emailed the guidelines to students living on campus, and certain halls may have additional rules regarding social distancing.
Meanwhile, according to Ball State's dashboard, no new cases of COVID-19 were reported today through BSU's partnership with IU Health. 4 new student tests and 3 new employee tests were administered. That brings the total number of tests since August 17th to 536. 293 have been positive. Those numbers are reported to Ball State from IU Health. Ball State has received a total of 600 students' self-reported positive results in the past 22 days. The Hoosier State reported 394 cases today, bringing the total number of confirmed positive cases to 100,780. Governor Holcomb will have his weekly coronavirus briefing. We'll carry it live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page. And Purdue University has adjusted their spring semester 2021, eliminating spring break. The information was provided to some students today in an email. The plan allows the semester to start later and provides an online-only option. The university has not yet made a decision on spring commencement.
AstraZeneca says it's putting its coronavirus vaccine trial on hold. The company made the announcement earlier this evening. AstraZeneca is one of several companies making a vaccine. The decision comes after one patient had a severe adverse reaction to the vaccine. The company says it's investigating the incident. It's unknown right now the condition of the person who had this reaction. Health experts say they hope a vaccine is approved by the end of the year. Officials say once one is approved, they plan to distribute to those at a higher risk. However, some are concerned with how long it could take to distribute the vaccine. A 60-degree temperature drop in Colorado, a firestorm in Washington, and nearly 24 large fires burning throughout California. Wild weather is striking the West Coast around the country. At least 76 wildfires are burning, prompting red flag warnings in several states. Whitney Wild has the latest on record-breaking weather events.
Wild weather across the West.
We just figured the family will just stay together. So we just hunkered down together.
Fire and ice colliding in Colorado. Crews battling the Cameron Peak fire, which has burned almost 90,000 acres, got an assist overnight from Mother Nature as a cold front dumped rain and snow on the Centennial State.
Let her snow. I hope it puts it out.
In California, helicopter crews rescued at least 13 people trapped by the fast-moving Creek Fire. In total, more than 200 people have been airlifted to safety after flames engulfed more than 135,000 acres northeast of Fresno. What's worse, the Creek Fire is just one of at least 22 wildfires raging in the state. In Southern California, pyrotechnics at a gender reveal party sparked the El Dorado fire that has since burned almost 10,000 acres.
It's so important for people to do things or to stop doing things, not do things that could cause a spark.
In Washington, a fast-moving firestorm Monday night destroyed nearly 80% of structures in the town of Malden.
Everything gone. Clothes, beds, everything.
Dry and hot conditions into Wednesday are prompting officials to issue red flag warnings in 6 western states, covering 38 million people. I'm Whitney Wild reporting.
Wow, Libby, that is some wacky weather the West Coast is having.
Yeah, it's wild. Natasha, what do you have for us this evening?
Well, the weather here isn't that crazy. We did see some above average temperatures today, and that will be the same thing as we get into tomorrow. We have cooled down just a little bit though. 81 degrees currently here in Muncie. You can note this cooler air off to our west, and actually if we look at the radar, there's some showers popping up along that line. That is going to stay off to our west, not going to impact us, so we're going to stay partly cloudy throughout much of the night. In fact, we'll cool down just a little bit as we head into tonight. Going to be at 77 here soon, 74 at 11 and 70 at 1. We'll stay with those partly cloudy skies, and the winds will be pretty calm from the east at 5 miles an hour. So a pretty calm night ahead.
Later, find out how Peloton could help you stay active during quarantine.
And how Uber is changing its guidelines for drivers and how it could affect you.
Riding the bus is an easy thing to do. Last year, we carried 60,000 riders in the Ball State area. 50,000 of those were students. Anywhere you want to go, Mitts will take you there.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back. Many are expecting Apple to reveal the new iPhone 12 next week, featuring full 5G capabilities. It would be the first iPhone to connect to the new ultra-fast wireless network. However, there have been questions for months about whether pandemic-related supply chain issues would delay its release. Some tech analysts say next week's event will most likely focus on the new Apple Watch and iPad models. The event will be streamed September 15th.
If you're looking to get back in shape during quarantine, check it out. Peloton is unveiling a new bike called the Bike Plus, featuring a larger screen, better speakers, and a system that correlates resistance with your teacher's instructions. They're also introducing a new treadmill and a new full-body workout class featuring the bike and the weights. The company says it's also cutting the price of the original Peloton bike by 15%. The new Bike Plus will be available starting Wednesday and the new treadmill early next year. Attention Uber drivers, if you want to keep your job, you've got less than 10 years to buy an electric car. The riding service says it will only offer rides in electrical vehicles by 2030. Uber released a report admitting its vehicles are 41% higher in carbon emissions than an average vehicle, mostly due to employees driving solo to pick up the rider and most riders including only one rider, adding miles to each trip. For the time being, drivers who already have electric vehicles will receive an extra $1.50 per trip, and drivers of hybrids will receive an extra 50 cents each trip. Competitor Lyft made a similar announcement just 3 months ago. Gap is lending its voice for the fight for equality. The clothing company said in a release today it's launching a Stand United campaign to highlight, quote, the power of staying together as a collective of diverse individuals' voices raised for a more equitable future. A representative for Gap said the company stands united for freedom, dignity, and equality. The company has released a limited edition Stand United and Vote t-shirts and face masks. Those items can be found on Gap's website.
And it's that time of the year when gardeners are turning their tomatoes into sauces and their cucumbers into pickles. But a boost in gardening at home during the coronavirus pandemic has led to a shortage of certain supplies, which calls for a need to preserve them. All across the U.S., gardeners have reported being in a pickle, finding certain sized glass jars, or the special lids used to safely seal them. A spokesperson for Newly Brands, owner of Ball, which produces mason jars and lids, says its increased glass production found additional lid manufacturers and has expanded its pack-out locations to replenish the stock as quickly as possible. Well, I don't think it is exactly pickling weather yet, but Natasha, what can we be expecting?
Well, I don't know much about pickle weather, but we do have a cool down coming our way. I'll have the latest in my full forecast.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands? Yes. You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
One in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother,
Yes.
you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse,
Yes.
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, pre-diabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Welcome back. The current time is 9:16. You're looking live at the East Mall. Natasha, what can we be expecting?
Expecting some cooler temperatures to move in, but you might not have been able to tell that by today's weather. We saw a high of 90 degrees today. The average high is usually 81 degrees, but we still didn't beat the record set back in 1939 of 98 degrees. We have cooled down just a little bit though, sitting at 81 degrees, a bit humid with the dew point sitting at 66, and some clear skies out there. There is some precipitation off to our northwest, but that is going to stay there along this cold front that's just kind of sitting off to our northwest. This same system is bringing some very cold weather into Denver that's even causing some snow. Well, we're not going to be seeing any snow, but we will be seeing some of these cooler temperatures as we head into the week. Tomorrow's still going to be pretty warm at 86, but we will drop into the 70s by Thursday and stay into the 70s through the weekend. Tonight you can expect a dry night, partly cloudy skies with temperatures sitting around 65 degrees. It's going to be a nice night with winds from the east coming at around 5 miles per hour. Then as we head into the day tomorrow, some clouds are going to stick around with us, maybe a sprinkle or two, but it's going to be nothing too crazy. I have it all timed out for you here. 70 degrees at 8, 81 degrees by noon, 86 by 5. So another toasty day in store for us tomorrow. As we head into Thursday, it's going to be pretty cloudy with, again, a few sprinkles possible. And if you're ready for fall, well, it's not quite there yet. We are still seeing these above average temperatures, so you might just want to stick to some pumpkin iced coffee because you don't want to be putting on a sweater yet. As we get into this next week, I have it all laid out for you here on the MIT 7-day forecast. 86 tomorrow, dropping down to 76 on Thursday. Slight chances of rain then. Then as we head into the rest of the week, we're going to stay in the mid to upper 70s. The best chance of rain is going to be Saturday night into Sunday, but other than that, it's going to be a very pretty fall week.
Thank you, Natasha. Ahead in sports, there's a new face on the football field for Ball State, and he's coming all the way from down under.
And a famous pro athlete will be making his return on a sports video game right after the break.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet a few who are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Problems. The ones nobody talks about at cocktail parties. We go looking for them. No matter the obstacles, no matter the odds, we surround a community's most critical problems, and we fight. United Way fights for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in every community. Will you?
It doesn't take a scientist to cure hunger.
or a fancy economist to create safe housing. It takes imagination, creativity, sweat equity. And I think of kids going to school hungry. Hunger, homelessness. In this land of plenty, seriously? Come on, we could fix this. Help out, or don't. The choice is yours.
Weeknights, NewsLink Indiana brings you the news before you go to bed.
But Friday mornings, you're waking up with Cardinal weather. We've got the latest news headlines.
Freezing temperatures have set in all the way down in Louisiana.
One man dead after flooding in Venice, Italy.
Up to the minute weather conditions.
Cold temperatures are the story this morning.
And of course, lots of fun.
It is not
What
funny.
on earth is happening there?
I feel sorry for the little guy.
I've got my socks on. Annie with her curly hair, which is actually never curly. Join us Friday mornings at 8 on Facebook Live.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Imani Butts with sports. This year's Ball State football team will feature a foreign face. When the football season resumes, it will be the first season for college football for many of the freshmen. But for Lucas Burrow, it will be the first of his season playing American football. Burrow is starting his football journey in a new country, coming over 3,000 miles from Newcastle, Australia. Originally an Australian rules football player, Burrow will be the newest Australian punter to make a transition into college football's top ranks.
Really good athlete, has a strong leg, and I think what he'll be able to bring is, obviously the ability to roll out and punt and do some different things that way. And also, punt in the pocket and do some things that, you might see as a little bit more stereotypical with an American punter.
Burrow comes from strong ranks as Australians have won the Ray Guy Award given to the nation's top punter in 6 out of the last 7 years. And moving on to Anderson lacrosse. When most head coaches take over a program, there's usually a program to take over. And the head coach isn't just 24 years old. Jake Ashton is in his 4th year building the Anderson lacrosse program from the ground up. After a year of recruiting, the Ravens played their first game in 2019, winning their first before dropping their final 12. Last year, they won 1 out of 6 before the pandemic shutdown canceled their season and halted any momentum. Now, with a full roster finally in place, he hopes that his team is finally ready to make some noise in the Heartland Conference.
Young, and we have really, I think only 35% of our roster just going into this year has played college lacrosse, so yeah, a lot of inexperience. And so I said, we still have to work for it. We still have to earn it.
Ashton remains hopeful that there will be a season this year to work for. Until then, he will continue to build his team on the rise. After being MIA in Madden NFL since 2017, Colin Kaepernick is making a reappearance in Madden NFL 21. In a press release on Tuesday, EA Sports approved that Kaepernick's character will be able to play on any NFL team in Madden's franchise mode. Back in 2016, when Kaepernick played for the San Francisco 49ers, he began kneeling for the national anthem in response to racial injustice and police brutality. In 2017, he opted out of his contract and became a free agent. EA Sports stated that the decision was made because Kaepernick was a fan favorite and they wanted to see him back in the game. And the National Football League has been giving daily COVID tests to its players and staff as they attempt to start their season this week. The NFL announced on Tuesday that just 7 members and 1 player tested positive for COVID-19. The league does have a plan for testing for players that are positive as they isolate them and provide care for their team's medical staff. The NFL regular season will kick off this Thursday with the Kansas City Chiefs facing the Houston Texans. And on the topic of football, Tucker, do you play Madden?
I am still playing Madden 16.
Come on, it is 2020.
Well, what do you play?
I play NBA 2K21.
Oh.
And, I had to give up my money and my coins because even though it was $60, I was really happy that they finally put female My Players in my career. And I thought that was super cool because obviously I'm a girl playing an all-guys game.
That's true. That is a big step forward. Thank you so much, Imani. Well, a popular reality TV show will be going off air in 2021. We'll teach you which it will be after the break.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Can you help me?
I got it.
Thank you.
No problem.
Just like the rules to surviving Zombieland, there are steps you can take to be prepared for an emergency.
It's the right thing to do.
Talk with your family to make a plan. Look for safe areas to meet up if separated. And stock up on supplies. It's never too early to get prepared, so start now.
Right now?
Right now. You can't predict emergencies, but you can be ready.
You're welcome, America.
Visit ready.gov today to learn more.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
You won't be able to keep up with the Kardashians on TV much longer. In a joint statement addressed to the amazing fans, the families, and the center of the series said keeping up with the Kardashians is coming to an end. After what will be 14 years, 20 seasons, hundreds of episodes, and several spin-off shows, we've decided as a family to end this very special journey. The statement said, "We are beyond grateful to all of you who watched us for all of these years. Through the good times, the bad times, the happiness, the tears, and the many relationships and children will forever cherish the wonderful memories and countless people we've met along the way." The statement provided to CNN by E! Was signed by Kris Jenner, Kourtney Kardashian, Kim Kardashian West, Khloe Kardashian, Rob Kardashian, Kendall Jenner, Kylie Jenner, and Scott Disick. Nintendo is marking the 35th anniversary of Super Mario Bros. With new games, including one that turns your home into a racing track. Mario Kart Live Circuit uses the Nintendo Switch system to drive real go-karts around your house. Players set up gates to create their own course layout. The course follows the boost in-game and real world. It'll even stop when hitting something. The new game will be available in Mario Kart and Luigi set. It will launch on October 16th and will cost just under $100.
Thank you so much. Natasha, what can we be expecting in the weather?
Well, we have one more day in the mid-80s before dropping into the mid to upper 70s for the rest of next week. A few rain chances in the mix, but those chances aren't very high for right now, so a beautiful week ahead.
Thank you so much. It does look like a beautiful week.
Yes.
It may be a good week to go for a bike ride or something. Didn't you have something with the Mario Kart?
Yeah, some guy came around my dorm and was like, "Hey, do you want to ride a Mario Kart?" And I was like, "Heck yes, this is my dream." And so there it is.
Wow, dreams really do come true.
They do.
Well,
yeah.
That's all for tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to join us again tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great evening.